And we are live. What is going on, LBHT crew, Panthers Nation, Flock Nation? Well, I know how one group is feeling. I don't know about the other. I know how the other group was feeling too. All right, listen. You see? Oh, let me close this out. There we go. Look, I mean, I think we call both games. I called the Ravens game slightly more accurate because I said I expected a blowout. You know, you expected them to fight a little bit more, but man, listen, coaching got exposed, GM got exposed. Okay, I see some of you guys going at Jason Lockenfora on Twitter for calling out EDC. Don't do that. First of all, even if you don't agree with them, why are you fighting over this man? Right. He's done nothing for you. Like nothing for you. Why are you so emotional about EDC? Like, why do you feel like you need to protect him? You know what I'm saying? He didn't put the personnel right. But coaching, and you know what? Let's put a pin on that because let's start with the good stuff first. Let's start with the Panthers comeback.
This is a Panthers channel. Carolina 27-24 over the Miami Dolphins after starting out the game down 17-0 after a couple of ugly turnovers. They fought back. You know, that's something Baltimore don't know how to do, or they forgot how to do. You know, they played hard. Rico Dowdle with a career day. He went over 200 yards today. So shout out to him. Xavier
he tied a franchise record.
Probably a career day.
He tied a franchise record. Second. Okay.
Tied for second with Jonathan Stewart. You know, Xavier Legette wasn't worthless today. So that's always a plus.
Jimmy Horn out there.
He made a couple of little plays. Yeah. So Jimmy should be active moving forward. I think we established that. Yeah. You know, even though they've had some injuries, the O-line is still fighting. I'm not gonna say, you know, they weren't perfect, obviously, but you know, hey, they opened up some huge holes for Rico Dowdle. All right.
They sure did.
I think overall, outside of the very beginning, it was a really good day for Carolina. The defense really stepped up. They stopped Miami 4 or 5 times in a row while Carolina was trying to come back. Yeah, you know, that's what a defense winning the game looks like.
They almost collapsed at the end there. They gave that touchdown to Jalen Waddle. I was like, but I was saying to myself, it was a little too fast.
So, yeah, they had too much time. Too much time for the Reaper.
Yeah.
It's funny that I think it's almost like they can only win when the opposing coach is on the hot seat a little bit. Like Raheem Morris, you know, there's been rumors about him, and they fired a coach right after that game. You know, Mike McDaniel, they've been talking about him since like week 2. Bryce Young likes to shuffle people on out the league.
Let's take a look at some stats real quick. First of all, Tua had a good game. He had a good game. 27 for 36, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns. Devon Achane had, well, he didn't have a good game. He had
they shut down that run.
Right, but he did have a touchdown, a receiving touchdown.
An amazing touchdown catch. I mean, he looked like a wide receiver 1 on that play.
Jalen Waddle looked good. Darren Waller, another good game, back to back. Is he back, B? Is Darren Waller back?
One, yes, Darren Waller is back. That's why I picked him up as soon as he announced he was coming back out of retirement. Second, Carolina can't cover tight ends, so of course he had a good game today. They should have targeted him more, but you know he's still kind of working his way into shape. He was on a snap count and all that. But yeah, the defense is soft on the back end. You know, they're soft in the secondary. They can't cover tight ends. Their linebackers aren't particularly good, but up front against the run, they show up. And they got some pressure on Tua today, particularly later in the game.
Well, yeah, you had Ashawn Robinson had a sack, Derek Brown had a sack, Patrick Jones had a sack, and that was needed.
Yeah.
That one was needed. Let's take a look at your stats. Bryce Young, he had an early interception, but outside of that, he played pretty well. 19 for 30, 198 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the 1 pick that I mentioned. Rico Dowdle, like you said, 206 yards on 23 carries and a touchdown. Trevor Etienne, he didn't have a lot of yards, but that run that he had then after Jimmy Horn's catch that got you down to like the 5 or the 4, that was needed too. You know, That got you to first and goal. So that was good for him. And it was a rookie that scored a touchdown, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mitchell Evans.
Mitchell Evans. Yep.
Mitchell unfortunately, Evans. But you can't help it sometimes.
Well, the one thing I didn't like
are Irish, and the one who's not is inactive. So
now I'm glad Xavier Legette got in the game and caught some passes, but I don't like that he scored a touchdown before Teterow McMillan got his first touchdown. Yeah. Teterow had another solid game, 6 catches, 73 yards. Xavier Legette 2 catches, 31 yards and a touchdown. Well, go ahead, B.
Yeah, no, that was a great catch he made on the touchdown. And I see people kind of pumping him up online, and that's cool. He had a day, but he did only catch 2 passes. So let's pump the brakes as well. Let's not let this car get out of control. All right, he caught 2 passes for 31 yards, but like I said, he wasn't worthless today. He made a couple of big plays for him, so that's progress. Jimmy Horn, like I said, he contributed, so that's progress. You want to see him being active. This is more what I thought the offense would look like with Rico Dowdle, running the ball, but obviously with Hubbard and Dowdle. So hopefully they can keep that going when Hubbard comes back, and they won't be just using up one of the running backs, because Rico was struggling towards the end of the game. He was tired. He started cramping up and everything.
Yeah.
But that's why they have him and Chuba. Chuba just unfortunately out this week. But no, it was a great comeback. Honestly, I thought it was probably over when it was 17-0. But Miami went Miami after that, and Carolina never gave in.
Well, when I was thinking that at first, because your body language was all off, right? And I was like, man, this don't look good. But when they scored a touchdown, I was like, okay, they're gonna come back, and they never let it get out of hand after that.
Yeah.
They slowly climbed back in, and that's why I knew it was 17-13. I was like, yeah, nah, Miami ain't winning this game, So
yeah,
good win for Panthers. But this is what we were talking about: big win, shutout win against the Falcons. Got beat down against the Patriots. Get a big comeback win against the Dolphins. This is what it's going to look like for the Panthers throughout the year. They're going to have some ups and downs. This is what happens when you're going through a transition phase, right? You're not there yet, but you have a couple pieces. You're trying to figure out the rest of the team, and you're just not quite there. You're going to have some good weeks. You're going to have some bad weeks. It's going to be a mixed bag. So enjoy the season. Enjoy the season.
Yeah. Next week is Dallas. Dallas put a beating on the Jets today. And one thing Dallas is going to do is score points. So the offense has to show up next week.
Yeah.
But it's a winnable game. But then it's okay, because if they don't win that one, they definitely got the following week against the Jets. So we're getting the season back on track here. Unlike some other guys.
Let's talk about it. Let's get
like I said in the Discord. Like I said in the Discord, man, you didn't let them get to 50. What are y'all upset about?
Hey, I'm not going to stop B from bashing y'all either, because anytime we have some constructive criticism of the team, the first thing some of y'all like to do is, how the Panthers doing, B? How the Panthers doing? What the Panthers look like?
The answer is better than y'all.
They're better than us right now. They're better than us. I'm not defending them. What's up? Just Allo says, hello, LBHT. If any good could come out of this, maybe people will look at EDC as a failure. Well, we talked about Jason Lockefort's his tweet. We retweeted it, and he said, hey, if you're just looking at hardball, you're not EDC. You're doing it wrong. You still got some of these people out here. You still got those EDC defenders out there that are like, hey, protect this man at all costs. I don't understand. Again, I understand if you don't agree, you don't agree. Your opinion is your opinion. I don't understand why you're so angry at that tweet to where you had to go in and insult him over criticizing Eric DaCosta. Literally hasn't done anything for this team. When they're like, well, what did EDC do? Nothing. He's done nothing. That's the point. He's done, like, the offense wasn't hurt today, y'all. Outside of Lamar, there were no injuries, right?
Well, no. There was Ronnie.
Ronnie played.
He didn't play much.
They took him out in the second half when they're getting blown out, but he played. So listen, man. Listen. And they activated Keaton Mitchell.
And listen, you know what? You know what's real messed up too? The thing that's really messed up is that because the talk has always been about the O-line. We gave up the one sack. Cooper only got hit like 4 times a day. Not saying that they played great or anything, but like it wasn't the disaster we were all expecting from the O-line.
I jinxed him a little bit too, because I was just saying how I was like, man, the sad thing is Cooper didn't even look bad. It's just poor play calling. And as soon as I said that, he threw an interception. I was like, oh well, let me just shut up.
Well, Mark helped him out with one of those.
Yeah. Overall, I don't think he played bad though.
I mean, he did. He threw the 20 passes and 3 of them went to the other team. So
I think
he played poorly.
I think those play call was horrendous. Some of those were him just trying to force the ball a little bit. Like you said, Mark Andrews helped him with one of them.
Yeah, the other 2 were terrible though.
But I mean, like they nothing was happening. You know what I'm saying? Like Derrick Henry did nothing.
Well, but that's the other thing that we talked about before the game, right? It's, hey, Derrick Henry looks great in Baltimore. We all know how talented Derrick Henry is, but his last season in Tennessee wasn't very good. No. He did get over 1,000 yards, but it took a lot of carries to get there. And he's benefiting from playing next to Lamar Jackson. And I wanted to see how the run game would look without Lamar. Well, it looked like garbage. Is what it looked like. Derrick Henry had 15 carries for 33 yards. He did get the touchdown, which, congrats. Keaton Mitchell had 3 carries for 8 yards. So yeah, they couldn't get anything going on the ground. Cooper Rush, he got intercepted on what was essentially a screen pass. That was ugly. The Mark Andrews drop turning into an interception was very ugly. And then Rashad Bateman quitting on the route on the 3rd interception was extremely ugly. So nothing got going on the offensive side for them.
Let's take a look at some stats, shall we? Okay. On the other side of the ball, we had our
career days all around.
Career days all around. CJ Stroud, 23 for 27. 23 for 27, 244 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. That's a perfect QB rating, ladies and gentlemen. Perfect. Nick Chubb, 11 carries, 61 yards and a touchdown. He looked like vintage Nick Chubb on that 1 touchdown run. CJ Stroud had his longest run of his career, 1 carry for 30 yards. Very good. And also, clap it up for Xavier Hutchinson. Okay, been in the league. This is a 3rd year, I believe. 3rd year in the league. Got his first 2 career touchdowns today, y'all. First 2. Congratulations.
Congratulations. And the thing about it too is it's not just that they perform that well, because yeah, I mean, Baltimore, they don't have a very good defense, obviously, but it's the stark difference in the way they performed against other teams, right? Because you mentioned CJ Stroud. He had 244 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and completed 85% of his passes. Okay. In his other 4 games, he completed 70, 54, 65, and 78. Now, in his other 4 games, he had a total of 4 touchdown passes, along with 3 interceptions. So you went ahead and doubled his season total for passing touchdowns just by taking a little side trip to Baltimore. The defense is disgustingly bad. Like, I'm not even going to sit here and talk about how talented they are anymore. Like, it doesn't matter. You suck. And then hearing John Harbaugh after the game saying he doesn't think that firing Zach Orr is the answer. Like, what do you think is the answer, John? What's the answer if it's not getting rid of the coach who's been running this garbage defense for the past 2 years? Are you going to bench all of the players? I know you're not going to do that.
That's just him saying, I'm going down with the ship, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going down with the ship. If I'm going out, I'm going out. I'm going to do it my way. I'm not going to fire anybody on my way out the door. I had to do it early on in my career, because I didn't have, I didn't have any goodwill, here in the office or in the city. So, they say fire my friend Cam Cameron, then he's got to go. But now I don't have to do that. I've been coaching long enough. I got a Super Bowl. I don't have to do that. If they're going to fire me, they're going to fire me. But I'm going to keep my guys. And it's just that stuff. But that's the stubbornness, though. That's the stubbornness that keeps us from winning the Super Bowl. Because we do have talent on this team, right? I don't think EDC has done that bad of a job to where these guys are just straight bums. I don't think Malachi Starks is a bum, right? I think he's a bad pick, right? But I don't think he's a bum. I don't think Teddy Buchanan is a bum. I don't think Mike Green's a bum, right? I think some of these were bad picks because we need to focus on offense, but we don't have the coaching staff that can bring out the best in this young talent, especially early on in their careers. You know, Harbaugh has a certain way of coaching. He sticks to it. He wants to hire his friends, even if they can't coach. And he's going to keep doing things his way because he's won enough along the way, thanks to Lamar Jackson, right? Before that, thanks to Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, and Haloti Ngata and Suggs and all of them. You know, he's had a lot of talent on his team to cover up a lot of his deficiencies. But games like this, I told you, the jig could be up. That's why I told you, I said, this is one of the games that could get them up out of there. If they lose bad enough, like you can lose, right? Because people will say, hey, you have a lot of injuries. You can lose, but you can't lose like that. And you definitely can't lose like that after the 49ers, who have more injuries, including their quarterback, including Nick Bosa, including all three of their wide receivers, right?
And George Kittle.
And George Kittle, okay, went to LA and beat the Rams, who are coming here next week, and beat the Rams in their house. Kendrick Bourne, who wasn't on a team. I didn't know he still played. I was like, why is he? Who's that guy out there? Kendrick Bourne. They went out there and did that. When they go out there and do that on Thursday night, we can't have a performance like this at home against the Texans.
No. But like I said, I don't care if we think those guys are talented or not. Like if you had that much talent, those guys would make plays at some point. At some point, somebody would make a play. Nobody is doing anything on that defense. I don't want to hear Kyle Hamilton is a talented player. What are you doing back there? 4 touchdowns, no picks. Where's the talent at? Where's the talent from Malachi Starks? Huh?
Well, Hamilton didn't play, right?
I'm just saying in general. Where's the talent from Malachi Starks? Where's Roquan Smith? You know, Mike Green. We talk about him being talented. Okay, this is the 5th game. He's shown nothing, right?
This is a game I want to see something from him.
You know, and so I just don't. It doesn't mean anything to me that we say those guys are talented. I remember when Mike McDonald was there. You know, he struggled the first season, and then they had that lockdown defense in year 2, and we asked the question, like, is this defense really that talented, or is he a great coach and he's putting them in position to be successful, right? Because Brandon Stevens looked good, right? All those guys look good. Arthur Millette looked good. Now he's gone, and all those guys that you thought were super talented look like trash.
And I'm not gonna lie, I slept on his coaching skills a little bit because I was like, because his first year wasn't good,
right?
And the second year was really good, and I was like, yeah, he's done a good job, but there's a lot of talent here. I don't think it was all him. Now it looks like it's all him, you know. But again, I don't, like I said, I don't think they're all bad players that we have here. But you know, when you have a young team, you don't have veterans that just know how to play the game. Coaching matters a whole lot. When you're going out there with a lot of young guys, and again, yeah, I know guys got hurt. Who you have that didn't play? Hamilton, Roquan, Marlowe. That's a lot, you know. And Madubuike is out for the year. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But they also spent a lot on that side. That's why it shouldn't matter. You have Jair Alexander, you have TJ Tampa, you have Nate Wiggins. Like, these are guys that we were hyped about. It's not like we're saying, oh, those are just guys. We're like, oh no, that's what's up. Like, that's the future. Okay, well, this is a time Nate Wiggins should be performing, right? This is a time TJ Tampa should be performing. We got Malachi Starks high in the first round. He should be performing. Like, we still have Travis Jones, best nose tackle in the league, allegedly. He should be performing, right? Mike Green should have been a first round pick. So we still have so much talent on that side of the ball. Those guys being out, it shouldn't matter to the point where we're giving up 44 points. Well, that doesn't add up.
You have alleged talent on that side of the ball, and second, they sucked when those guys were healthy too. And third, if I may, the Green Bay Packers are the youngest team in the league. Ain't bothering them.
Nope.
So what all of that leads me to, the conclusion, if you will, that I come to with those facts is that John Harbaugh, Zach Orr, and Todd Monken need to be out of a job tomorrow or today,
Yes.
preferably.
Preferably.
I mean, I don't care who
they're
you
already
get to
home.
coach
They don't have to come back
of,
home. They're already
yeah,
there.
I don't care who you get to coach the team the rest of the season. What does it matter? You gave up 44 points to the Houston Texans. The only team they could beat was Tennessee. Who cares who coaches the team the rest of the year? Go 1-16, get that number one pick, and get you some real talent and start getting this back on the right track.
Here's the thing, B. Here's the thing. I don't think if we completely clean house today and we brought in like interim coaches, I still think we make the playoffs because like their coaches. It's not like you just have to go and get who was the interim head coach for everybody back in the day, Robisky. You have to go and get Terry Robisky nowadays, right? There are coaches like Byron Leftwich is just sitting there. You know what I'm saying? Like there are coaches out there that know what they're doing, and they're watching the Ravens right now. Like, boy, if I had a team like that, you know, the things I could do with that team. Like they're coaches they can go and pick up right now, and they can assemble a staff right now. And this team, especially as they get healthy, will get right back on track and look hot. Like because that first of all, that's how much talent that they do have. They do have talent, but that's how great Lamar is. That's how great he's been. And this is the thing that we've been saying when people are like, oh, stop defending Lamar. Okay, well, you see how he looks when you see how the team looks when he's not there. You see how the team looks. Nobody else on that offense is hurt like that. In fact, they activate somebody that you guys have been asking them to activate for a long time, and they put up 10 points.
Yeah, so maybe stop defending the defense. Maybe stop defending the coaches. Maybe stop defending the GM, right? Because this is what they put together. Because again, no matter how much y'all want to give credit to him, Eric DeCosta did not pick Lamar Jackson, right? Yeah. So this is the team that they've built. He inherited a playoff team, and he's brought you to 1-4, staring down the barrel of 1-5.
Should have said like the Ravens defense. No one's here. There's 65 people in here. What are you talking about? I appreciate y'all for coming through. Hit that like button. If you're new in here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And we got a super chat from DJ Amp. Appreciate you, brother. Says, if you are not running the ball with Derrick Henry 25 to 30 times a game, then why sign him? Facts.
Thank you very much. But they ran it 15 times and he got 33 yards. That's why he didn't get to 20 or 25. Because they ran it 15, he got 33 yards. Because the offense isn't good. Lamar is good, and he lifts up the rest of the offense. But the offense isn't good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Lamar effect, we can write those off, right, in years where they've already banked enough wins to make the playoffs, right? You had Mike McDonald where the defense would keep games close, and you could say, hey, we're okay with without Lamar. We got what's his name? Who's our quarterback?
Cooper Rush.
No, back.
You mean Tyler?
Tyler Huntley.
He's back now too.
He's back now too. Yeah.
Never a new solution in Baltimore ever.
Yeah, but you could do those things back then. You can do those things once you already banked enough wins. But when these are crucial games and he's not playing, and other teams, they're like sharks and they smell blood in the water, that's when you find out what this team is really about. Because this ain't the end of the season where they can just coast. This is a game that they have to have now. All hands needed to be on deck for this game. This game was more important than next week's game, because next week's game, we assume that they're going to go ahead and lose that game.
Yeah.
Right?
And now the Rams are going to be like, man, we got a top 34. We got to top that deficit. But this is always what we talk about too, right? And why we say it's the coaches and not the players. Every team in the league has talent. Yeah. Every single one of them. All 32 of the teams have talent. That's what Houston showed you today. When you're out there without Lamar Jackson and your coach is John Harbaugh, they will go off on you because they have talent. They don't have more talent than everyone else, and they don't outcoach everyone else. That's why they only beat Tennessee to this point. But they have really good players. They have NFL coaches. So if you show up not ready to go, you're going to get your ass kicked. And that's what happened today. You know, here, Miami showed it too, right? Miami's got talent. Carolina's got some talent. And Miami went up 17-0, and they took their foot off the gas, and they lost. Like, this isn't college where you can just out-athlete people, where you win just by showing up.
So I mean, do the Giants have talent?
They
do have
do.
Talent. Yeah,
they do on the D line and in the hospital. Cam Scatterbo fumbled the ball, gave up a touchdown for New Orleans. But that's what we're saying too, right? Even New Orleans has talent. Even the Saints, the lowly Saints, have talent.
Yeah,
you can't take weeks off.
I hope this doesn't happen. NDT Sports is sad to say Lamar Jackson is going to end up like Dan Marino. This team don't care about Lamar. Listen, man, I don't think this coaching staff is going to be around much longer. I'm predicting right now, and I understand this is Teflon John we're talking about. This is somebody that Steve Bisciotti's just like, I don't care. I'm making money. I don't care if he stays around. But I feel like another week, though, it's getting blown out. And that's what's going to happen next week, ladies and gentlemen, if Lamar doesn't play. Wow. If another week getting blown out, we're going to see a change at the bye.
If you couldn't stop Xavier Hutchinson, he of these 0 career touchdowns, what are you going to do with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams?
And
what are you going to do?
You know they're not going to lose to 2 backups in a row, right? They had their one team that they slept on. Right. They lost to Mac Jones. That was embarrassing enough for them. They're not losing to Cooper Rush. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of Saints, Rashid's touchdowns was crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Do y'all see all those empty seats? Silent Steve will notice that. Silent Steve, I like that. Well, but that's what will wake him up when the bottom line is hurt, because he don't want he doesn't want empty seats in the middle of the season, right? He wants that stadium full. He don't want people not tuning in. He don't want people not showing up. So that is a problem. Yeah.
That's what he cares about: ticket sales, merch sales, all that.
Yep. Ayo Fon says, if Harbaugh gets fired and Lamar wins a Super Bowl immediately next season, does the media give a huge apology? No. The media knows what Lamar Jackson is. Like they know he's a great player, but you get more clicks by keep saying something controversial about him, saying, criticizing him. That's what gets clicks.
Listen, Ayo Fon, if they fired John Harbaugh and the Ravens win the Super Bowl next year, the narrative will be whoever the new coach is, fix Lamar's playoff struggles.
Oh no,
he won't get credit for it. It'll be that they turned him into a clutch player, and that's how they won. It'll be the narrative. Coach.
The narrative will be the coach won with Harbaugh's guys. That's what I say. Oh well, he just
that'll be that'll be the Harbaugh defenders. Like only the Harbaugh defenders will stick with that. They'll just say, man, this dude's a QB whisperer. Lamar couldn't win a big game before he got here, and now look at him.
Yeah,
so it is what it is.
So yeah, listen, we got 75 people in here. Hit that like button if you're new. Hit the subscribe button. Look, I honestly didn't expect too many people in here. Okay, we had about 300 people a week ago or so. You got that's when you guys, including me, expected big things out of this team. Okay. And we were upset about on how they played, how they performed in that game 2 weeks ago, not last week, not the Chiefs game, 2 weeks ago against the Lions. You guys, we all expected bigger and better things from this team, but the expectations have gone down. Okay. And you guys rightfully
funny. It's only because everybody was laughing at the Panthers because that one podcast decided to quit because of how bad they were. But it appears that the Ravens' futility has created 230 family men.
I'm about to say, hey, listen,
people out just doing whatever today. They ain't watching Baltimore.
Today is a beautiful day, And I hope by halftime you realize that you need to get up off your couch and get outside and do something. Even if you need to go out, even if you just go out there and catch some sun, I hope you didn't sit there for that second half and watch that nonsense. Okay. Do something better with your time. And we're gonna talk about those podcasters that quit on Wednesday's show, because I had some thoughts about that. Especially how big of a deal they're making it. Like there are tons of Panthers podcasts, Ravens podcasts. People quit all the time. They take breaks all the time because this stuff is, it is time consuming. It's more time consuming than you guys realize. And you got to have that work-life balance. But I don't think a good reason to stop is because the team is doing bad. That means, to me, I don't think you have a good business model if you're stopping because the team is bad. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's like unnecessary bluntness said on the timeline. Like, you got to fire it back up now with everybody looking, right? Bleacher Report put that article out or that tweet out. You got to come back now.
Yeah, I wonder, like, what if they win the next two games?
Right. Yeah, they already did one.
Right. That's all. No, I'm saying like they win this game and then they win the next two. Because
I'm saying because they quit before this one, so they already won one. They win next week. You gotta be back.
No, I see a 3-game winning streak. That's what I'm saying. Like if they beat Dallas, Dallas is gonna be tough.
Yeah, like I said, they're definitely gonna beat the Jets, though.
But they're gonna beat the Jets. But if they finally beat Dallas and then beat the Jets, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like they gotta come back. They gotta come back. Lonely Therapy says 1, 2, 3, Cancun. Jerry says Panthers won today because they quit the podcast.
That inspired the troops, man.
Yeah.
So Bryson there was sitting in the locker room, not Meow Mix. we gotta get it together.
So B, you saw the presser after the game. I
didn't see the presser. I saw a couple tweets. And one of them was about about them saying Zach or firing Zach Orr isn't the answer. Yes, it is. It's one of the answers. It's not all the answers. We got a super chat for the Virgo. He says Harbaugh's seat needs to be hot lava along with EDC. I wouldn't mind seeing a defensive-minded coach like Rex Ryan and an OC that will work close with Lamar, which I think Rex would do. Do right by your QB. Thank you very much for the donation. Appreciate it. If you want a coach who's going to work closely with his quarterback, that's not Rex Ryan. You remember that he's the one who derailed Geno Smith's career, right? He's the one who let somebody punch Geno Smith in the mouth in their locker room and didn't do anything about it. He's the one who didn't want Geno as his quarterback and did everything he could to sabotage Geno as a starter, only to find out a decade later that Geno could play.
Yeah. Rex Ryan ain't the guy. There's a reason why he's not in coaching now. And I'm not a fan of guys that have been out the league for an extended period of time and getting back into it. I'm not a fan of that.
And his guy just woke up handcuffed to a hospital bed.
I was about to say, like, I think he needs to find representation for his quarterback. Yeah. We're gonna talk about that on the show too. Okay, you want to talk about a plot twist? The first wave of news said he got stabbed and he's hospitalized. Like, oh man, I hope he's okay. And next wave was like he's arrested. I'm like, the person that stabbed him? No, this stabbed. It was arrested.
Yeah.
But listen, man, there's a bunch of coaches that you can go out there and get in the interim. Even if you decide you don't want to fire the whole coaching staff, I'm fine with Monken staying to the end of the year. I don't think he's going to be calling these same play calls with with somebody else at the helm.
Listen, that's fine. I mean, maybe he wouldn't, maybe he would. I don't know. And I don't care. He's gone through this cycle already. He was the hot offensive coordinator before, and he got sent down to the minors, right? So, no, man. Like, okay, if we're just going to say, hey, we're firing John Harbaugh today, and that's it. Yeah, Todd is the logical guy to take over.
That's what I'm talking about.
As far as like what he's going to do, I feel like he's going to do Todd Monken things, and those aren't great.
That's fair.
It's kind of whatever to me. Like if they said Zach Orr taking over, I'd be like, whatever. Like, who cares? Like, just get through this season and
Yeah.
find a real coach and get this turned around. By the way, did you fire the GM too? That's it.
Listen, if if you're one of these people right here, if you're one of EDC's defenders, okay, if you're saying this is not on Eric DeCosta has been cooking. He has brought in all the talent and Harbaugh just squandering it. Who's the talent? Who is the proven talent? Who are the guys on this team that you look at and say he has arrived? Right? He's the guy. How many of those guys did EDC bring in? Lamar, EDC didn't bring that person in. Andrews, EDC didn't bring that person in. Stanley, EDC didn't bring that person in. Marlowe, EDC didn't bring that person in. Roquan, yeah, he traded for Roquan. How y'all feel about
Roquan?
Hate
Roquan,
right? Humphrey, yeah, not Humphrey. No, sorry, not Humphrey. I mean, the safety, Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton. Yep, he's one of them. Matabike, yeah, I think so. Zay Flowers, yeah, I put Zay in there.
Yeah.
Linderbaum, yeah. So 2 offense, 2 defense. Who else has arrived?
And the thing is, the guy on offense, Zay Flowers, is not a top tier player.
No,
the guys
don't have to be
defense,
top tier.
No, but I'm just saying, like, Matabike, not necessarily a top tier player. He had a fantastic contract year, but outside of that, he hasn't been a top tier player, right? So it's not as though, even when you point out the talent that he's brought in, it's not as though he's bringing in high level talent. Hamilton's playing well, but again, Hamilton's not doing the things that you brought him in to do. Right. You drafted him in the top 15. He hasn't been a difference maker.
Nope.
So,
no. So these, we're gonna get to that. So I'm just trying to name guys that you look at and say these are good quality players, right? How many of them are you looking at and saying, yeah, these are good quality players? These are players that teams would trade for, right? They add some value. There's a handful of them, right? If you go through them, I could probably name a couple more. But you're talking about a man that's had 50 picks?
Yeah.
Okay. He's had, this is his 8th year, I believe, and that's not a lot of players. And to B's point, none of them are difference makers or superstars, right? None of them are game changers. Let me put it that way. None of them are game changers.
Yeah.
And if you're going to pass up game changers, you need to start developing game changers, trading for them, drafting them, whatever. You need to have those guys on your team. He purposely passes up on edge rushers because he's like, oh, well, we got Owe, we got Ojabo, we got Adisa Isaac, we got Mike Green. We got all these guys that we're bringing in, and one of these guys is going to step up and be the guy. None of them are the guy. None of them, right? You don't want to go and pay wide receivers. All right, nobody's drafted more wide receivers than us since 2019. Isn't that what was reported before? All right, nobody's drafted more wide receivers than us. How many of them are as good as Jamar Chase?
0.
Justin Jefferson. Like CeeDee Lamb. How many wide receivers are that guy on this team? Right? Yeah, how many of them are Tyreek Hill? We could have just traded for Tyreek Hill. If you're going to pass up on a talent, you better get it right. So stop fighting for this man, okay? If you don't agree with our take, that's fine. But don't don't throw insults our way because you feel some kind of way. Why you get so emotional about EDC, man? That's the driest human being I've ever seen. Okay, he's done nothing for you. He's not your friend. He doesn't care about you. He's not going to show up to your house and give you a big hug and say, "I wouldn't have made it this far without you. Thank you for defending me." Okay, our friend Antonio is here. What's going on, Antonio? Says the season is over and I'm glad maybe we will get rid of Harbaugh. What a pathetic showing today. how many draft picks will we have this year? Or 15. I was say 151. 15. Yes. That's what we like to do. Especially if it's a high draft pick, we don't want to use that. We want to trade back, right? If we end up in the top 10, top 5, do you know how many picks we can get if we trade back, B?
Yeah. So many. He'll trade back 4 times.
He absolutely will. Or he'll stay there and get an edge rusher. Right. And that's the other thing too that I want to talk to you guys about. And I don't think the season's over. I don't even think we'll miss the playoffs, to be honest. Although this is it's very much a possibility because we're starting 1-5. It's very much a possibility. But I just think Lamar is great enough to when he comes back, we can run the table. That's just how I feel. But if we do end up in a situation where we have a high draft pick, okay, this is where you absolutely have to get EDC up out of here because the pick can't go on defense. It can't be edge rusher, can't be linebacker, can't be D tackle. And these are all the things that people are going to say. The media will go out there and say, all the mock drafts will say D tackle. What's the guy's name? Blades from Miami, right? Like it's
Ruben Bain.
Bain. I said Blades. Ruben Bain from Miami. Like it's gonna be something defensive, and they're gonna tell you how much of a game record these guys are. You're gonna say, well, yeah, you see how bad our defense was. We need to go defense. Obviously, no. The obvious pick is O-line.
Yeah.
Interior line, preferably. But if you decide to go tackle, that's fine too. You need to start building the wall. You need to make multiple picks on that O-line. You need to go into free agency and see if there's any veterans out there that are good that you can go and throw some money at and fix that. That needs to be the plan. And if EDC can't get with that, he's got to get up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But again, people will point to the bad defense and say, we have to. Now it'll be about need. When it's on the offense, it's just draft the best player. When the defense is struggling, it'll be about need.
Yeah.
Which is, unfortunate.
Yeah. All right, listen, man, not too much to say here, okay? We still got 75 people in here. Hit that like button. If you're new in here, hit that subscribe button. We're going to have a lot more to say on Wednesday, hopefully it's about a firing, okay? I know some people don't like when you wish for a coach's firing. I know Coach Evan doesn't like doing it because he's a coach himself and he feels like that brings bad karma onto him. And I understand that. But, I would tell Coach this, like, that's not bad karma. You're calling it how you see it. If a player doesn't do well, you expect them to get cut. Mm-hmm. If a coach doesn't perform well, you expect them to lose their job. It's all about performance. This is a results business. It's a results business. And you shouldn't be holding these coaches on a pedestal just because they have the title coach in front of them. If they suck, they suck.
Yeah.
Right. And we're allowed to criticize them the same way we criticize players. We're allowed to criticize GMs the same way we criticize players.
And the same way he criticizes fans, by the way.
Yep.
You talking about, you sitting down at the end of the bar? No, I don't drink. You're wrong.
Right.
Okay. Incorrect, sir.
Right.
Spreading misinformation, if you will.
Right. Well, you should be buying the drinks. Well, you guys sit here and watch this. At least Kyle Hamilton had enough decency to apologize. All right. That's what, and we haven't really gotten on him on this channel about that either.
No.
Right. We haven't really gotten on him about that, saying, oh, you guys are spoiled. I know where it comes from. And I respect Kyle Hamilton because he's trying to be a leader. He's trying to be, hey, I'm all about my team. I'm going to defend my team. He's just trying to defend Zach Orr in that moment. He knows Zach Orr is doing a terrible job, but he's not going to throw his coach under a bus, right? That's maturity. Now, he shouldn't have taken a shot at the fan base, but even that, he said, man, my bad. I shouldn't have said that. He gets it. I'm done. Like, I got nothing more to say about that. We good, right? We good. Harbaugh never apologizes. Harbaugh, even after a game like this, he won't say, I let the fan base down. I let my team down. I just want to apologize. It starts with me. He won't say that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they got, we gotta get a stop. They gotta get a stop on first down. Well, how? What's the plan, coach?
I don't know with Baltimore, man. Like, I don't know how the fans can look at what they put out on the field and say, you know what, we good with we good with this, we good with the players, we good with the philosophy, we good with the coaches, we good with the GM. Now, in the past, I understood it because Baltimore was winning. You know, you'd get to the playoffs, and the philosophy wouldn't bite you in the ass until January, February. Right now, you're 1-4. There's nothing to defend. You know, much like your defense.
Don't let anybody tell you that the reason we lost this game is because of injuries, or lost like that. At least, you know, you could lose if you don't have your
the players won't even say that. Kyle Van Noy said, you know, yeah, it's not about the injuries. He doesn't think there's an effort problem, but it's about the fundamentals. I'm like, man, you like 34. You should probably have the fundamentals down.
No, he was talking about him. He played fine. That's a crafty way of saying our coaching staff ain't getting it done.
Yeah.
So who teaches the fundamentals?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Your high school coach is what John Harbaugh will tell you.
Not I. So yeah. So don't let anybody tell you that that's the reason why, because there's still a lot of young talent that gets hyped up, that he gets a lot of credit, Eric DaCosta, for bringing in here. Well, why aren't they performing? Malachi Starks, man, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that Malachi Starks was the pick. I mean, who else is going to make tackles after the catch? Right? Like, he made so many tackles after the catch.
He missed so many too. You know, Houston scored on every drive except the last two. They had a 4-and-out. You know, that was the one time Baltimore's defense stood up. Yeah. And then they just ran off the clock on the last drive with a 6-minute drive. They scored every other time they had the ball.
Yeah.
Houston did that.
Houston did that too.
That is pathetic. Like, you know, all, joking aside and everything, but like, no, man. You had to have some self-respect. There had to be some standards for your team. You went out there and you gave up 44 points, and it could have been more. 44 points to a team who has been non-competitive in the NFL through the first 4 weeks, right? Like, what is your response to that as an owner, right? Are you you're okay with putting that product out?
Hold on. Is this true, Davon? Davon says Jair admitted to confusions, stating he thought Malachi had the green dot. So he doesn't even know who the signal caller is out there. He doesn't like, they don't even have that down. Like,
listen, the Texans scored 9, 19, 10, and 26 against Tennessee last week. That was their 4 games before playing Baltimore where they put up 44. Like, if you don't fire somebody, and I don't mean the assistant linebackers coach, I don't mean the quality control coach. If you don't fire somebody after that performance, you're sending the message that you do not care how this team performs. It does not matter.
These are players telling you, we ain't quit out there. We're out there trying to make plays. Although, listen, we not going to excuse missed tackles, man. I'm sorry. That's you, brother. That's you. But they're out there saying, no, man, we're not quitting. There's no quitting us. They're saying it in crafty ways. It's coaching. What's up, Spooky J?
He says, we have officially given up more points through 5 weeks than the 2000 team gave up that entire season, including the playoffs. That's what you spent that money for. That's what you use those picks for, trying to recreate that defense. Look at it. CJ Stroud tearing y'all up. Doubled his season total for passing touchdowns today.
Listen, stop saying this is our identity. It's not our identity. I'm upset because the defense is so bad, because I expected the defense to be top 5. I'm not saying it should be 2000 or 2000s defense, because I think the defenses we have Ed Reed after that 2000 defense were better because they scored touchdowns, right? They forced a lot of turnovers, but I'm not comparing this defense. I didn't compare the defense when Mike McDonald was here to those defenses. That's a little unfair, but I expected a really good defense this year, a really good defense. And if we had that defense, even with the guys out, this game would have looked a lot more competitive today. First of all, we wouldn't even be sweating this game because we would have more wins if the defense, just the defense, did their job. Up until this point, we would have at least 2 more wins. At least 2 more wins.
So,
but
this other tweet says Kyle Van Noy was asked if the messages from Zach Orr and John Harbaugh aren't getting through to the players. Kyle Van Noy said, that's probably a question that's above my pay grade. That's a Harbaugh and Zio question, to be honest. Let me see the rest of the quote
that's
here.
That's a veteran comment.
I think their messaging is fine. We got to be the group to take that and go out and do the simple things right, the fundamentals, easy, basic stuff.
That's a veteran
messaging is fine.
Fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
I don't know if their message is reaching. Go ask John if his message is reaching me.
Antonio says this is the issue, though. People think this defense is still one of those from the 2000s. Yeah, it's not. It never will be. That's why we did the hashtag, Antonio, hashtag defund the defense. We spend so many resources. What's up, Killer Cam? What's up, Zeke? We put so much resources into that side of the ball trying to replicate what we had back then because this is a defensive team. We love defense in this town, but not only can it not be that way again because the league is different, even by modern day standards, we're not that because you're just picking the wrong people. You're not prioritizing the positions that are important or that are important now. Like you're building it all wrong. And if that's what you want to be, you have to recognize that. You have to adjust. And also, you have the best quarterback in the league. Your superstar is on offense. That's what you need to support. That's who you're expecting to win you these games. If you weren't, that's why I say it doesn't matter if Lamar was hurt. You put all the money on the defensive side. They need to go out there and win the game. But we all knew the minute Lamar doesn't play, we can't even make field goals anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the thing. It's they don't understand the way the football is played now. They just don't. You're prioritizing safeties and middle linebackers and run stuffers and all this stuff. Like that's not the game anymore.
Right.
When that's why teams were falling all over themselves to get Micah Parsons because he gets after the quarterback. Right. They don't seem to think that's very important. They don't seem to care about that. They don't seem to care about protecting their quarterback because they don't understand the way the game is played. They say, "Hey, we got Derrick Henry, and we built it through the middle on defense. From the nose tackle to the middle linebacker to the safety, and we're gonna stop the run and we're gonna run the ball. Yeah, and you're gonna get your ass kicked every week doing it.
Now
every week that Lamar can't save you.
Yeah. Now the league does go in trends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me and B talk about that. It'll swing one way and then swing back the other. One day, those things might be a priority again. One day, that day ain't today, and your window is today.
Like, yeah, you can see it sort of changing right now, because defenses got much smaller, lighter, faster to defend the pass and everything, and some teams responded by being power run teams, but those teams still built their pass game first. Those teams still go out and get pass rushers so they can win in the modern NFL first. And then if they run into a team where, hey, you know what? We can take advantage of this smaller defense, then you can go ahead and do that. But you still have to be able to do the other things, right? You still have to be able to pressure the quarter. They didn't get much pressure on CJ at all. They did a couple times, but that's been the reason that they can't win all season. And you couldn't exploit it,
Yeah.
Protecting your quarterback is still the most important thing you can do. And pressuring the opponent's quarterback is the second most important thing you can do. And they can't do either.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, part of me is glad. A big part of me is glad that this happened, right? I don't like seeing the Ravens lose, but we needed this Lamar needed this because we've seen this happen for decades. How black quarterbacks get treated on certain franchises. Every franchise except the Eagles until until this version of the Eagles. But you have an athletic quarterback, and teams don't respect them as a passer. Even their own teams don't respect them as a passer. They feel like they don't have to build up around them. They don't have to give them O-line. They don't have to give them weapons. This guy, who's an amazing talent, whether it's Vic, whether it's
Cam, unfortunately,
Cam, Vince Young,
and Lamar.
Lamar. But I mean, it's been a bunch of quarterbacks over the years, right? But that's how these teams build, and they're like, well, we'll just put it on the defensive side of the ball, and they'll figure it out. And those quarterbacks play through it. They make the most out of it, and eventually their body can't move the way they used to move. The O-line is still terrible. The receivers are still terrible, right? And they don't perform anymore, and then they get discarded. Right? No loyalty from the team. Mm-hmm. Lamar is a great passer. He's a great passer. And yes, he does everything well, including running. And this team has never respected him. B's been saying it from the time we started this podcast that he didn't think that the team believed in him as a passer. Right? Even though he set historic records as a passer. Mm-hmm. Right? And an injury like this, thank goodness it's not a severe injury. It's just an injury that keep him out. If he needed to play, I'm sure he could have played. But it's one of those where he could say, you know what? I can't go today. Probably can't go next week. Good luck out there. Right? And it puts everybody on blast because y'all didn't really believe the team was this bad. You know what I'm saying? Like when me and B say the team sucks. The team really sucks. It's just that Lamar holds it up. You guys think we're exaggerating a little bit. No, the team sucks. Right. It's a poorly built team. It's a poorly coached team. And a game like this shows you exactly how bad that team is.
Right. And I say that because I watched the exact same thing in Carolina. They went 15-1, and y'all wouldn't trade for any of those players outside of Cam. Except maybe Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen's, he was a great tight end. Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, on the offense specifically.
Oh, yeah.
The Cam held up the offense completely. Right. And on the defense, Luke did the same thing. Now, there are other good players around them. Right. But if you just reach down and pluck Cam out of there and you pluck Luke out of there, trash. Those teams are terrible. And you see that in Carolina. Now, granted, I mean, they've done a poor job managing the roster as well. But the second that Cam couldn't do it at a high level anymore, they can't win.
Was up. Yeah.
And it's been that since then. And you look at Baltimore. I don't know why we even had to go through this. Like, we've seen it multiple times with Lamar getting hurt that the team can't win without him. They didn't look this bad because the team, we were closer still to the Ozzie era. And so the degradation wasn't as bad as it is now. But, Lamar would go out and you'd lose 4 out of the next 5 or 5 out of the next 6 or whatever it was. Lamar would go out, you go to the playoffs and you lose to Cincinnati in a game that you should have won easily. And then now, after you've let the O-line fall apart, after you've let the talent on the defensive coaching staff all wander off and haven't replaced them, now you go out there and you lose 44-10 to a team like Houston, a team that shouldn't be within 20 points of you.
Right. And you got the Rams the following week, like
with one of the best coaches in the league. And
like,
a bunch of talent.
Like, what's the answer, right? Like this week,
I'll tell you what, Jose, it's not holding anybody accountable if that's what you're going to suggest.
Right. Like what's the message John Harbaugh could say to his team? Look, we're going to go out there, we're going to fight like hell, and we're going to compete against the Rams. If he's going to say the same BS that he always says, right? The same cliches that he always says. And they're going to look at him like, we just lost by 34 points at home. What else you got for us? What's our strategy?
And he's going to say nothing. And they're going to be like, all right, John.
Because next week they got Puka Nacua, they got Devontae Adams, they got Kyron Williams.
Kyron Williams, who, by the way, is also coming off a bad game personally. He's going to want to get right on this Ravens defense too.
All these guys better than the guys we played today, and that's just on the offensive side.
Mm-hmm. Byron Young going to get me a lot of points next week.
Byron Young, Jerry Verse. If I would just line them up in the interior all game. Like, hey, scoot over. I got this. They cannot wait. What's the adjustment we're gonna make?
Listen, right? the only thing that those coaches better be telling that team is we're gonna spend this entire week. Because by the way, the Rams are coming off a 10-day break as well because they played on Thursday. But they better be telling the team for the entire week, all we're going to do on the offensive side of the ball is work on getting this run game right. And we're going to give the ball to Derrick Henry on 90% of the snaps, and the other 10 are going to Keaton. And that's what we're going to do. And if we can't win that way, then we'll lose. But we're not going out there again and asking Cooper Rush to beat somebody with his arm when he's throwing to Rashad Bateman and Mark Andrews.
Even though he had 15 carries, there are a lot of times where they should have been running the ball and they're trying to pass the ball, right? It's just poor timing. That's why I don't put too much on Monken. I'm not calling Monken a great coach, but it's just the timing of these play calls, right? It's like, well, clearly you should be running the ball here and you're passing it. Clearly you should be running the ball here and Justice Hill's on the field. It's the timing of this stuff that has to come from the head coach. Now you could say, hey, why'd you run that type of play there? That's on Monken. But the timing of these plays, why are you running it or why are you passing it on first down and you're close to midfield? Run the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not really establishing the run. You're running in these just awkward timing. You all saw that the stat from Olofsky, how we're last in the league on first down runs. You saw it again today.
First and second. First and second down runs. But they're second in the league on yards per carry, or in yards per carry on first and second down.
Yeah.
So make that make sense.
Yeah. All right. We got almost 100 people in here. Smash that like button. We're going to get out of here soon. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We're going to talk a lot more about this on Wednesday on the LBHT show, and we're going to talk about a lot of other stuff. There's a lot of news going on. So tune in. All right. If you're new, subscribe. Share with your friends and loved ones. We got some goals we're trying to meet by the end of the year, and we want you to help us reach those goals. But yeah, man, that's all. That all falls on Harbaugh. Harbaugh doesn't have any answers for it. It's clear at this point. Are we going to talk Dr. Doom? I don't know what you mean. Sure, we'll talk about that later. But it's clear at this point Harbaugh doesn't have any answers. And I don't see any reason to go any further with him. He's showing you right. This is really showing you what kind of coach he is. Every coach goes through what we went through today with injuries. Literally, the 49ers just went through that on Thursday night. They have more injuries than the Ravens. Anybody that's trying to tell you the injuries are the reason why, they have more injuries than the Ravens. All of their starting wide receivers were out that game. All three. Their star edge rusher, Nick Bosa, out.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Star tight end, George Kittle, out.
Quarterback, Brock Purdy,
out. They even lost, Panthers legend Yatir Gross-Matos in game.
Right. All of them out.
And they took
Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne got busy on them in LA.
I think Christian deserves a little shout out right here, but yeah,
absolutely.
No, they took it to the Rams.
Yeah. So there's no excuses. Like you got to show that you at some point you got to prove that you're a great coach. If you think Harbaugh's a great coach, or you think he's a really good coach because he's got a Super Bowl, at some point you have to show it. And these are the type of games, like I said, you can lose, but you can't lose like that. You got to show that everybody knows what to do out there. All these players are telling you they don't know what they're doing out there. Right? They said spirits are up, effort is up. We just don't know what the play is. That's coaching. And how much? And that's been the thing the whole season. And when Lamar's not there, running the show, covering up all this mess, it's on full display. It's unwatchable. People don't even want to go to the stadium to see that. He doesn't need to stay any longer. He doesn't need to stay past today, like B said. He doesn't need to stay past today. But damn sure, if he goes out there and gets blown out again, like he will next week, he can't make it through the bye. Can't make it through the bye week. All right. You want to end it there, B? We've been going for an hour.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Listen, please, for the love of God, go watch some good football. Okay.
Yeah,
don't let
Dolphins game.
You can watch the Panthers replay. Right. There's some football going on right now. There's Sunday night football. There's Monday night football. Do not finish your weekend with that debacle, right? That just happened. Do not, that dumpster fire of a game. Do not let that be the only football you watch this weekend. Please go watch some good football. Enjoy the good weather, and don't even worry about it. Okay, this is all Harbaugh's fault. Harbaugh, he'll be out of here soon. You know, he's trash at the end of the bar. Okay, they forgot to take the trash out yet. Okay, they'll get to it soon. Okay, all right. B, are you ready?
I'm ready.
He is ready. Y'all come back here Wednesday night for the LBHT show and the overtime show. You can get to the overtime show on our Patreon, patreon.com/LBHT show, or sign up for the YouTube memberships. We have a lot of stories to go over. It's a lot of fun for as little as $5 a month. That's all it takes to be a member, and you be a member of our Discord channel. All right. Sign up today, subscribe today, share with your friends and loved ones. Go watch some good football. Have a great night. And we'll see you next time. Peace.